Federal elections are in-person community events. We're living in the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, so this federal election might look a little bit different. We've got a range of safety measures in place to make sure that you're safe and you can feel comfortable when you come to vote. Come on in, have a look. When you come to the entrance to a voting centre, you might see a little bit of a queue. We ask you to be patient with that. It will be a socially distanced queue. At every single AEC venue, you'll also see a queue controller, and their job is to make sure that you're doing the right thing and just providing some distance between you and the next person in the queue. And just like at the local shops, you might see venue capacity limits and you might need to be checking in via a QR code. It depends what's happening with the local health restrictions at the time. When you first get inside a voting centre, you'll see hand sanitiser, and we'll ask you to use that so that at an individual level, you're being as safe as you possibly can be. We'll then direct you over to our issuing tables. You'll see our polling officials. You'll potentially need to use mini queues. Issuing officers, like all AEC staff at a voting centre, will be wearing masks. In addition to issuing your ballot papers, of course, they'll also give you a clean pencil to use. What you'll see when you get over to a voting screen is that they'll be separated at a distance of 1.5 metres. Or you'll see a gap, and we'll be maintaining that for social distancing. Voters themselves, they may or may not be wearing masks. This depends on what the local health restrictions are at the time. We'll also have hygiene officers, and the role of hygiene officers is to take the plastic inserts, which were specially created for this election, and clean them in between use to make sure that the surfaces that you're using are safe. Our hygiene officers will also be wiping down pencils in between use and looking at other surfaces around the polling place to make sure they're sanitised appropriately as well. Come on over to the ballot box. This is the final step before you leave the polling place. What you'll see here is obviously the ballot boxes, but also a ballot box guard. We take security, in addition to COVID, incredibly seriously. Once your ballot papers have been put in the ballot boxes, it's then time to dispose of your pencil. You can also dispose of any other material that you brought into the polling place, such as how to vote cards. We'll clean your pencil when you're done. There'll be polling teams like this one across the country working hard to deliver the federal election for you, the voter. They're just working hard to deliver on AEC instructions to keep your vote secure and to keep you safe during a COVID pandemic. If you see a queue and have to wait a little bit, or no matter what your feelings are about COVID-19 safety measures, please treat our polling staff with kindness. Give them a smile, cast your vote, do the appropriate things in terms of COVID-19 safety measures, and get a democracy sausage on the way out. Happy voting.
Authorised by the Electoral Commissioner, Canberra.